All right, guys, if you haven't already, subscribe. You can't hit this button. This doesn't do anything. It has to be below, around the description area. You'll see that subscribe button. Subscribe right now. Go. Do it. I'm watching you. What's up, everybody? It's Carl, aka Carl Drum Tech, and today I want to talk about drum corps and its current state. Do you think it's changing for the better, or do you think it's changing into something terrible and unrecognizable? What do you think? I'll let you know what I think. So when I think about drum corps, especially when I grew up, when I was first exposed to it, you know, even just listening to tapes from, from the 60s, 70s, and 80s and things like that, you just had this thing about drum corps that was like, you realized it was very traditional, right? Where Vanguard always had their Christmas tree colors, and the Blue Devils were always blue, and then like the Blue Coats with their, with their helmets. Everybody had their own signature identity, and it was very, traditional, right? It's like, year in and year out, you can kind of count on a certain identity. But for the most part, I think over the years, drum corps has certainly evolved. I mean, each corps has evolved. It's not like, Vanguard was always playing like Broadway musicals and things like that, right? They eventually evolved into doing other things. So that can be said with Blue Devils, always playing jazz and things like that. Well, that's not the case, even as, they went through the 80s and 90s and thousands and stuff like that, right? Well, now the change is that the uniforms are starting to change, and everybody's kind of has their own different look that is kind of apart from the traditional uniforms that drum corps had. And I think, it's like, it has a lot of the old folks kind of in an uproar, because it's like, it's not what they are used to. They hate it. They hate the change. They hate how the music is now, or they hate, electronics, or whatever the case may be, right? And it's just like, oh my gosh, it's not drum corps anymore. And to be honest, I'm kind of with those guys. I mean, yeah, I guess I am old school. I guess you could say that, right? But I think at the same time, we can't discount the talent that's coming out of drum corps these days, and the talent that these kids have and what they're asked to do. It's not the same as it was back in the day. So that's something that you have to kind of tip your hat to and be like, wow, like these kids are doing some amazing stuff. But as far as like things changing, and the uniforms changing, and just the overall dynamic of drum corps is changing, I think that's a good thing. I mean, you can't always have the same thing over and over again, year after year, and just, and yeah, maybe I am talking against the people who have the sentiment that, it should just be about tradition, it should just be the same. I think I have this feeling that, it's okay to change, and it's okay to like, just whatever it is what it is, and you can like it or don't like it. But I think you have to kind of think about the fact that like this has been going on since the beginning of time. Like people will always do this. Like when Elvis Presley first came out, people were hating on Elvis Presley because like, what is this guy gyrating his hips and doing all these seductive moves and things like that? Like that's not music, or that's not good, or whatever. It's bad for our youth. And then it's like, now people are like, well, I miss the days of Elvis, and that was real music, and blah, blah. I don't like this EDM stuff, or whatever, right? Because as human beings, we just simply don't like change. We don't like change. We like things to stay the same. We like things to be predictable. I mean, I think it's a very evolutionary trait for us to always want things to be the same. I mean, you always want to be able to come out of your cave and count on the fact that, there's these woolly mammoths that come out that, at the same time, every single day, same amount, and then okay, great, I can count on those guys to be there. I can count on having food. And then it's like, when something changes, it's like, whoa, those mammoths aren't there. What are we gonna do? Oh crap, like, dang it, I hate it when those mammoths aren't there at the same time every hour, right? So, I mean, we like the fact that, we can count on things being there all the time. For example, right, like, you like it when your wallet is there at your desk, right? And then you can, as soon as you leave the house, you can just pick it up off your desk and then go. But then like one day it's not there and you're like, what the heck? It's crazy, right? Maybe because somebody in your household moved the wallet, put it somewhere, right? And it's like, but it still makes you mad because it wasn't exactly where you thought it was. Yes, you were mad because you thought somebody stole it, but it's just like that pattern break that kind of gets to you, right? So there's definitely pattern breaks going on in drum corps today, and people are definitely upset about it. My thing is like, it's whatever drum corps decides to do as a collective, like, let them do what they want to do. You can decide to like it, you can decide to hate it. It doesn't matter, right? But I think also if you are a marching member and then you get this kind of feedback like, oh, I hate it, I hate your show, or I hate your uniforms, blah, blah, you kind of have to respect where they're coming from as far as, like why they do it and, why they expect things to be a traditional kind of thing, and just, respect their opinion and be like, cool, well, thank you for your opinion. What can we do? This is what we want to do now. So there you go, right? So you can be with us or not, it doesn't matter. But at the same time, again, you have to respect them because, the majority of the people who come to these shows are people who have marched drum corps before. So you have to put that into consideration, right? So I think at the end of the day, we should all just kind of respect each other's opinions. You should respect it if somebody doesn't like drum corps as it is now. You should respect if people like drum corps as it is now. You should respect the activity if it decides to do a complete 180 and all of a sudden now everybody is wearing alligator themed uniforms. I don't know, right? Like whatever it wants to do, just let it be there. It'll go off on its own. And if you kind of like just accept things as they are, I think you'll be a lot better for it. All right, and even if you don't like it, that's fine too. You can still accept it. You can still kind of be like, all right, whatever, it's cool. I don't like it, but it's cool. So what am I trying to say actually? Am I trying to say you should fight it? You should fight the activity and where it's going? Or should you be like, no, it's cool, whatever happens, happens, and not have an opinion? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying don't have an opinion. I'm not saying either go fight it. I mean, there's nothing you can do unless you want to start your own thing, right? So at the end of the day, just be cool, whatever it is, okay? You can be cool and still not like something. Just be cool, like, like it is what it is. Like, can't do anything about it. And just kind of appreciate the good things about drum corps, appreciate the old concepts they're holding on to, appreciate, the level of talent that these kids have these days and what they're being asked to do. I think it's an amazing thing. So there's a lot of things to be proud of. If you come from drum corps, as far as like if you marched before and what they're doing now, I think there's a lot of things to be proud of it. And maybe it's a good opportunity to show other people like what it is now, how cool it could be, or not. It sucks, whatever. Do whatever you want to do. But for those of you guys who are marching, like I said, don't be offended. Understand where they're coming from, respect their opinions, and hopefully they'll still be in the stands, cheering you on, all right? And I think for the most part, they will, okay? So that's all I want to talk about today. Thank you guys so much if you've been watching. If you guys enjoy this video, please do me a huge favor, hit that like button. If you feel like somebody else could use to hear this type of messaging, please share this video with them by all means. If you have not subscribed yet, what the heck are you waiting for? Make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button right now. I really would appreciate that. And if you have any questions or comments, if you have any suggestions on what kind of videos I should do next, leave them in the comments below. Peace out. I'll see you guys in the next one.